Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the FUNimation dub of episode 121 of Dragonball Super. Picking up where we last left off, we begin this episode with the Universe 3 team's last resort being revealed, which is Paparoni merging with Koi Ciaretta to form a giant white, black, and purple creature with a design that looks very similar to the design of Hachiak, a villain from Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans. Android 17 and Android 18 decide to join Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan in fighting against this creature. Frieza thinks the fight will become more intense now, but he still decides to simply watch the fight rather than actually get involved in the fight. Dispo is surprised by what the Universe 3 team's last resort ended up being, and the Omnikings are impressed by this creature. Universe 3's Supreme Kai praises Paparoni's efforts, while Moscow is confident that the Universe 3 team will win. This is translated by Universe 3's Angel Assistant. Universe 3's Supreme Kai encourages the creature to go all out, and reveals the creature's name to be Anyalaza. Anyalaza launches multiple energy blasts throughout the arena, and the members of the 7th Universe team still participating in the Tournament of Power are able to dodge these energy blasts. One of these energy blasts is heading towards the 3 members of the Universe 11 team that are still participating in the tournament, Jiren, Top, and Dispo. But Jiren launches his own energy blast to stop this incoming energy blast, and Dispo wonders if they're going to have to fight Anyalaza too. Vegeta transforms to Super Saiyan and launches the Big Bang attack towards Anyalaza, but Anyalaza is able to deflect it with little, if any, effort. Anyalaza then charges towards Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Android 17, and Android 18, and proceeds to attack all 5 of them. Krillin comments about how Anyalaza has impressive strength and speed, and Piccolo says something along the lines about how he now understands why Anyalaza is the Universe 3 team's last resort. Anyalaza continues to attack these 5 Universe 7 fighters until eventually a dust cloud forms, and this gives, this dust cloud gives the 5 Universe 7 fighters, this dust cloud gives these 5 Universe 7 fighters the chance to retreat and regroup, while Anyalaza is now trying to find them. Goku figures that their best chance at defeating Anyalaza is to work together and attack at once. Gohan powers up to his ultimate form, or his mystic form if you prefer, and suggests that they confuse Anyalaza by using quick attacks simultaneously. Goku agrees with this idea and transforms to Super Saiyan God. So Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Android 17, and Android 18 all charge towards Anyalaza, and Gohan's plan to confuse Anyalaza seems to be working. These 5 Universe 7 fighters are all preparing to attack different parts of Anyalaza simultaneously, but unfortunately, Anyalaza manages to attack all 5 of them before they have a chance to attack him, Anyalaza. Master Roshi acknowledges that an opponent that can locate multiple beings at the same time is very dangerous, while the Omnikings say something along the lines about how Goku and his teammates are at a disadvantage. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Android 17, and Android 18 are able to get back up, and Goku wonders if Anyalaza is able to sense energy signatures very quickly, but Android 17 points out that he, Android 17, and Android 18 don't have energy signatures that can be sensed. Android 17 then suspects that Anyalaza is using ultrasonic waves, the way that a dolphin or a bat would use ultrasonic waves. And Android 17 suspects that Anyalaza's ears are how Anyalaza is using ultrasonic waves. Anyalaza then finds these five Universe 7 characters again, and Anyalaza then creates a portal and punches through the portal. Another portal opens up near Goku, and the punch hits Goku. So this is a reference to Janemba's technique from Fusion Reborn, the 12th Dragon Ball Z movie. Anyalaza then proceeds to use more of these, we'll call them portal punches, to attack. Yes, Anyalaza proceeds to attack Vegeta, Gohan, Android 17, and Android 18 alongside Goku using multiple portal punches. Eventually, Anyalaza uses another portal punch against Goku, and this particular portal punch nearly launches Goku off the arena, but Frieza manages to kick Goku back to the arena. Frieza says something along the lines of, "Oh my leg just acted on its own accord." But Goku is still grateful that Frieza had prevented him, Goku, from falling off the arena, and Goku says that the kick didn't really hurt. Goku then requests that Frieza help the rest of the participating 7th Universe fighters fight Anyalaza, much to Frieza's surprise. But then Anyalaza approaches Goku and Frieza and proceeds to attack them, but this time Anyalaza is trying to grab them. Anyalaza also tries to grab Vegeta, Gohan, Android 17, and Android 18. Eventually, Anyalaza does manage to grab Android 18, and we see that Anyalaza is planning to eat Android 18, but Goku uses instant transmission to get Android 18 away from Anyalaza and to a different part of the arena. Android 18 is grateful for Goku's help and assures her twin brother that she's okay right now. Anyalaza launches a red energy ball towards the 7th Universe fighters that are still participating in the tournament. And then this energy ball splits into smaller energy blasts, and this leads to Master Roshi acknowledging that these different types of attacks make Anyalaza a very tricky opponent to face off against, or that's along the lines of what Roshi says anyway. Android 17 protects himself with an energy barrier, but the energy blasts still manage to push Android 17 off the arena. Android 18 jumps towards her twin brother, and she pushes him back to the arena, but Android 18 ends up falling off the arena. The Grand Minister declares that Android 18 has been eliminated from the Tournament of Power, and the Omni-Kings tap Android 18's image on their respective god pads. Android 18 is teleported to the spectator seats, and she apologizes for her elimination, but Krillin responds by saying Android 18 contributed more than Krillin, did. Android 18 and Krillin both cheer Android 17 on, and Krillin even calls Android 17 brother-in-law. Android 17 vows not to let his twin sister's Android 17 vows to not let his twin sister's sacrifice be in vain. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Frieza reach Android 17's current location, and Gohan inquires Android 17 if he's okay. Android 17 assures Gohan that he is okay right now. Suddenly, Anyalaza grows wings to fly without using energy control, and Anyalaza then charges a giant red energy ball. Vegeta realizes that Anyalaza plans to destroy the arena in order to eliminate the rest of the fighters still participating in the Tournament of Power. Gohan says something along the lines about how they need to make sure that they stop Anyalaza's plan before it succeeds. Goku and Vegeta transform to Super Saiyan Blue, and Frieza powers up to his ultimate form, or his golden form if you prefer, so that they can all prepare a counterattack. So Anyalaza launches the energy ball towards the 5 Universe 7 fighters that are still participating in the tournament. And the 5 Universe 7 fighters counter with their own respective energy blasts. So, yes, they launch their energy blasts towards Anyalaza's energy ball. and a struggle happens for a while, but eventually Android 17 creates an energy barrier around himself and he jumps towards the energy ball. Thanks to the energy barrier, Android 17 is able to go through the energy ball to reach Anyalaza, and Android 17 punches the red part of Anyalaza's head, which is revealed to be Anyalaza's energy reactor. So Anyalaza's energy reactor has been damaged by Android 17's punch, and this gives Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Frieza the chance to destroy the energy ball and defeat Anyalaza. Anyalaza changes back to Paparoni, Koitsukai, Panchea, and Borareta, and they are all teleported to the spectator seats while the Omnikings tap on those fighters' respective images on their respective god pads. Paparoni apologizes for his and the other fighters from Universe 3's defeat, but Universe 3's Supreme Kai assures Paparoni that even though they didn't win, Paparoni and the other fighters still gave it their best, and that's what matters when all is said and done. The Grand Minister declares that Universe 3 will be erased from existence, and Universe 3's Supreme Kai accepts this fate with dignity. Suddenly, the gray circle on Mosco's torso opens up, and we see a small red imp wearing the General Destroyer outfit is inside of Moscow. So Moscow is a robot that's being piloted by the actual Destroyer of Universe 3. According to supplementary material, Universe 3's Destroyer's true name is Mule. So Mule, voiced by Chris Kaysen, says his final goodbyes and final thanks to Universe 3's angel assistant, and then Universe 3 is erased from existence. Universe 3's angel assistant is surprised that Mule revealed his true form just before he was erased from existence. Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan change back to their respective normal forms, and Frieza changes back to the regular version of his final form. And then Goku thanks Android 17. Gohan inquires Android 17 about how Android 17, knew about Anyalaza's energy reactor, or knew where the energy reactor was. Android 17's answer is along the lines of android instincts. Goku also makes a point to thank Frieza for helping the rest of the team. And Frieza insists that Goku still owes him, or he says something along those lines anyway. Jiren, Toph, and Dispo then approach the members of the Universe 7 team that are still participating in the Tournament of Power. Jiren says something along the lines about Jiren says something along the lines about how he hopes the Universe 7 fighters enjoyed the last victory that they will ever get to experience. The narrator reveals that 9 minutes are left in the Tournament of Power, and that is how we end this episode. So there you go. This episode continued what happened in the previous episode, which was the Universe 3 team making their last stand before they ended up being defeated. And it was in this episode when we found out what the Universe 3 team's last resort was, and that was Anyalaza, the merger between Paparoni and Koitsukai. And yes, a great number of fans, myself included, had definitely noticed that Anyalaza seems to be acknowledging several other characters or villains, villains that were featured, or villains that aren't present in the main continuity of the Dragon Ball franchise at this point in time, as of the recording of this video anyway. So yeah, you could say, or another way to put it is you could say Anyalaza was a canon reference to several non-canon villains. Again, this boils down to where you stand on the canon debate of the Dragon Ball franchise and how you define canon, but that's a whole other can of worms. I trust you understand what I'm trying to say. But yes, like I mentioned before, Anyalaza's general design seems to be very similar to the design of Hachiyak. Now, for those who aren't familiar with Hachiyak, Hachiyak was a villain from Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans, like I mentioned earlier in the recap. Now, Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans is At least from what I've seen, fans call Plan to Eradicate the Sands an OVA. That's what I usually see fans calling Plan to Eradicate the Sands. There was a version of Plan to Eradicate the Sands that was released earlier on during the series' run. But a remake of it was released later on. Yes, I think when Dragon Ball Z was airing in Japan, that's when the initial version of Plan to Eradicate the Sands was released. I think it was only released in Japan from what I'm aware of anyway. But a remake was released with Raging Blast 2. You could actually watch the remake of Plan to Eradicate the Sands in the video game Raging Blast 2. Yes, the video game Raging Blast 2 included a remake of Plan to Eradicate the Sands. So that's how most of the fans outside of Japan were able to see Plan to Eradicate the Sands. But for some reason, it wasn't actually dubbed, or it just includes the Japanese voice artists. Or yes, it includes Japanese voiceovers with subtitles. I don't know why Plan to Eradicate the Sands wasn't dubbed, even in the remake. I don't know if maybe that was legal reasons, like legal red tape complications. I'm not sure why exactly, but it is available on the Raging Blast 2 video game, or the remake is anyway. But yes, that's who Hachiyak is, or a little quick summary of who Hachiyak is for anyone who isn't really familiar with the character. But like I also mentioned in the recap, Anya Laza also referenced Janemba, the main villain of the 12th Dragon Ball Z movie, Fusion Reborn, with those portal punches. That was one of Janemba's many techniques in that movie. And some fans have also said that they consider Anya Laza to be a reference to Hirudegarn, the main villain of the 13th Dragon Ball Z movie, Wrath of the Dragon. Hirudegarn was a giant, and eventually Hirudegarn was able to grow wings to fly, and that's the part where fans thought there were some similarities between Hirudegarn and Anya Laza, the giant part and growing wings to fly part. But yeah, I thought Anya Laza was a pretty cool combination of different non-canon villains. Although I'm still hopeful that some of those characters will be able to be incorporated into the main continuity. I'd like to see Janemba, or I think it would be cool to see Akira Toriyama's interpretation of Janemba or Hirudegarn, for example. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens later on in the franchise's future. Now, while I'm on the topic of Anya Laza, the part where Anya Laza tried to eat his opponents was definitely a part that a lot of fans were confused about, because you would think eating your opponent would break the no-killing rule, so that definitely confused a lot of fans. I've seen some fans try to find an explanation for that situation by suspecting, or I've seen some fans speculate that maybe that was meant to show that Anya Laza was feral-minded, at least compared to his components, though some fans had pointed out that Anya Laza did seem to show a sense of awareness that you wouldn't normally expect from someone in a feral-minded state. Though I guess some fans had speculated maybe Anya Laza just has more moments of being feral-minded compared to his components, but I guess fans just have to think of an explanation to try and explain why Anya Laza would try something that would have potentially broke one of the rules of the Tournament of Power. But otherwise, another big detail about this episode is that another member of the Universe 7 team was eliminated from the Tournament of Power. In this episode, Android 18 was the Universe 7 fighter. Although I do think Android 18's elimination was much more dignified compared to the eliminations of some of the other Universe 7 fighters. It was very heartwarming that Android 18 saved her twin brother, Android 17, from being eliminated from the tournament. And Android 18 did give a great performance throughout the tournament. So overall, I would say Android 18's elimination was very dignified. I would say she had one of the more dignified eliminations from the tournament when compared to some of the other members of the Universe 7 team. And another cool detail about this episode was that all the members of the 7th Universe team that were still participating in the Tournament of Power at that point in time, they all worked together to fight Anyalaza. So that was pretty cool. At first, Frieza wasn't helping them out, but Goku did manage to convince Frieza to join in. And so, yes, for a time we did see, we saw the three Saiyans, the twins, and Frieza all working together to fight Anyalaza. And then even after Android 18 was eliminated from the tournament, the 5 members still participating in the tournament, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Android 17, and Frieza, were still all working together to defeat Anyalaza. So this was a great example of teamwork on the part of the 7th Universe fighters. So that was a pretty cool moment. And you could say it was also pretty heartwarming. Some fans were definitely surprised to see Frieza acting like a team player, although some fans did acknowledge Frieza did act like a team player earlier on, like when he donated some energy to Goku's Spirit Bomb, or when he gave some energy to Goku to help Goku with his stamina after his initial fight with Jiren, even if Frieza's reasons for doing so were for self-serving reasons rather than any altruistic reasons. And I suppose the other big detail worth bringing up for this particular episode is the revelation about Universe 3's destroyer. The robot Moscow is not actually Universe 3's destroyer. Moscow is indeed a robot, but we find out that this particular robot is being piloted by the actual destroyer of Universe 3, Mule. And Yes, I remember when I first found out about Mule, I was definitely caught by surprise. But Mule's revelation does open up a lot of speculation. I've seen some fans wonder if Mule is powerful on his own, or if he needs the robot in order to be considered powerful enough to be a destroyer, or maybe there's another reason why Mule uses the robot. There's a lot of speculation behind that. And it's also funny because Mule's name, well, yes, it's true that Mule is an animal. Mule still works for the alcohol-themed naming that the destroyers and the angel assistants have, because when you combine the robot's name, Moscow, and the actual destroyer's name, Mule, it references Moscow Mule. So, yeah, they still fit the... Mule's name still does fit the alcohol-themed naming of the destroyers and the angel assistants, even though Mule also happens to be an animal's name. But I thought that was pretty clever that they still kept the theme naming for Mule with his true identity. And yeah, we don't know too much about Mule himself, but Mule saying his final goodbyes and his final thanks to Universe 3's angel assistant was pretty heartwarming. It does suggest that Mule and Universe 3's angel assistant had a great bond, a teacher and a student bond, because it has been established that the angel assistants are the teachers of the destroyers. So yeah, we can infer that Universe 3's angel assistant and Universe 3's destroyer did have a good bond with each other. So I thought that was pretty heartwarming. And it was also heartwarming how Universe 3's Supreme Kai assured Paparoni that he and the other Universe 3 fighters did give their best, and he didn't hold it against them that they didn't win, because he understood that what counts was they gave it their all. And yeah, so with Universe 3 now erased from existence, that means the Tournament of Power is now down to just Universe 7 and Universe 11. Universe 7 has Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Android 17, and Frieza still participating, while Universe 11 has Jiren, Toph, and Dispo still participating. Funny enough, those three Pride Trooper members are actually they're the Pride Troopers that Akira Toriyama himself actually designed. From what I understand, the other Pride Troopers were designed by the staff members of Toei or Toei Animation. But yeah, Jiren, Toph, and Dispo were all designed by Akira Toriyama himself, and they're the last opponents for the Universe 7 fighters. And oh, that's right. I should go ahead and mention this now, but with this episode done, there are now 10 episodes of the Universe Survival Saga left. And I might as well just go ahead and mention it now, but yes, the upcoming 10 episodes for the Universe Survival Saga, the last 10 episodes of the Universe Survival Saga, they're all going to be dedicated to the fight between Universe 7 and Universe 11's last fighters still participating in the tournament. So, yeah, the tournament won't end until the last episode of the Universe Survival Saga. That's my heads up for the dub only viewers. Will, of course, go into greater detail about those episodes once we reach those episodes recap and thoughts videos. But otherwise, I would say that's it for now. So, like I said, I thought this was a pretty cool way to finish Universe 3's last stand in the Tournament of Power. Anyalaza was a pretty cool reference to various non-canon I thought Anyalaza was a pretty cool reference to several non-canon villains, depending on your definition of canon, where you stand on the canon debate of the Dragon Ball franchise. I still wouldn't mind if certain characters... I still wouldn't mind if some of those characters did receive their own interpretations under Akira Toriyama, or I'm still open to seeing Akira Toriyama's interpretation of the characters that inspired Anyalaza. And I did think that Android 18's elimination was much more dignified when compared to the eliminations of some of the other Universe 7 fighters. It was pretty cool to see all of the participating Universe 7 fighters work together against Anyalaza. And we got to see Frieza acting like a team player in this episode. The surprise, or the reveal about the true identity for Universe 3's Destroyer caught me by surprise, but I still thought it was heartwarming how he seems to have a good bond with Universe 3's Angel Assistant, and Universe 3's Supreme Kai appreciating that the Universe 3 fighters did their best was also pretty heartwarming. So now 10 episodes are left for the Universe Survival Saga, and we're going to see how the rest of the tournament is going to pan out between Universe 7's last 5 fighters and Universe 11's last 3 fighters. But there we go for now. So as of this video, we've now discussed the Funimation dub of episode 121 of Dragon Ball Super on this channel. Take care, and until next time.